Yes, Reds, how are we? We are back for the big one. Big stack panel tonight. I feel like Alisson Becker with a cracking back four in front of me. Fucking brilliant. How are we? Anyway, so if you join us, make sure you smash a like and subscribe. This is the big one we've all been waiting for. Greg, I know you're not feeling too good, lad. How are we?
You know what? Other than the illness I've got, I'm all right. And listen, if anyone here with it might have a spare City, lad, just because I'm ill right now doesn't mean I won't go, right? So you know what I mean. But other than that, I feel fine. You know, going off the back of 2 wins, 2 clean sheets. We finally looks like the Reds have turned things for the better, as it seems.
It is. Andy, obviously we've spoke. You've not been on here since the wins, have you? I think it was just before then.
Yeah.
I think it was. They look like they're out of the woods a bit. It's not fully out yet because this game's massive. How are you feeling anyway? Good to see you.
Yeah, good, mate. All good. Nice to see you boys. A bit like Greg, buzzing with the 2 wins. Finally looks like we've got a bit more control in football matches, which was always my biggest issue this season. We just look like so out of control. You know, any team looked like they were going to score past us. But to turn in the performance, obviously Saturday was a great win. We got a little bit fortunate, but to turn in the performance we did against Madrid, who have been waiting. They've been dispatching teams this season, and we looked like the better side. And if it wasn't for Courtois, it would have been 4-5. And to have that confidence going into this next game is good, mate. Because I wasn't really looking forward to this after we lost to the Palace in the Carabao Cup. But now looking forward to it, big time, big confidence.
Yeah, well, this is it, boys. Mark, we've spoken again. You've not been on for a bit. When was the last time you were on? You were on for the Real Madrid preview, was it over? I can't remember.
Was it the Villa? Was it the Villa game?
I can't even remember. It's been that many games. But feeling much better than I guess, lads.
Well, I had this down as the last game, didn't I? I said if we lose against Villa, Madrid, and we got beat on Sunday, I'd say that was the end of him. But obviously he's turned the corner, lad, hasn't he? He's gone back to what he knows best and what won us the league last season with that 3-man midfield and the shape. And unfortunately, some players are going to have to bide the time, like Wirtz, getting into their favourite positions and Kirkes. But yeah, it's got to be better. It's got to be done for the better of the team, hasn't it? So yeah, I'm happy. I said it doesn't matter how we won. The biggest thing, that was the most important thing, was getting a clean sheet. We've kept 2 against 2 very good teams. Puts us in good stead for Sunday, doesn't it?
It does. It's a massive game, Rick. Usually if you go to the Etihad and win, Rick, you've got a good chance of winning the league. So Liverpool can't afford any slip-ups. It's always tough, but it certainly delivers goals. I think, Rick, Liverpool seems to do well in front of goal at the Etihad.
Yeah, we done well there last season. I think we executed a top tactical plan there in the formation change. I'm hoping he does sort of similar this Sunday and not just try and change it up, because you can't do that away to these. So, yeah, hopefully boost off the back of a Madrid win, a Villa win, and hopefully we can maintain it going forward. Another win at the weekend. And who knows what can happen after that, because, it's going to be interesting. Like, hopefully they go there with a lot of confidence, because I don't think City are playing the best type of football that they've played for a while. I think Rodri's going to be out of the game. So, yeah, it's a good chance for the players to go there again and get another 3 points.
Well, this is it. Greg, obviously we had our Scouse therapy show, didn't we, the other day? And as I say, we were talking about Liverpool being sloppy, not playing the way they usually are, but they've definitely gone back to their old ways. I thought I think the big thing for Liverpool is Florian on the left acted as the 4th midfielder. He roamed around, didn't he? It looks like it could be a position that we need to be keeping him in going forward for me. Do you think he's shown glimpses to keep his place on that left-hand side?
I mean, yeah, definitely. I can back that 100%, especially if it's more of a left midfield role than a kind of left winger role, because I just think when you saw Wirtz at Leverkusen, he was so effective in the middle of the pitch and even stretching out wide. And he's at his best when he can get the ball in a tight space and he's got an option to pass.
He's asking for it a lot, lad, weren't he?
Yeah, he's at his best when guess you can kind of say it's weird actually because he's better when he doesn't have an obvious option. He can just create something out of the kind of player he is. And I think that's why I think Slot brought him in, because you need that kind of player in the Champions League. And I guess he looks at that PSG game last season and goes, you know what, that might have been what we were missing. And you bring in a player like Wirtz to ultimately kind of close that quality gap. And you know, whether he's a consistent starter in the midfield or if he plays off this left like we saw him do against Madrid, who knows? We'll have to see what works going on forward. But I'm definitely not against seeing that again, because even at Frankfurt, I think he played on the right as a right midfielder, and it was the same. It was the same basis of his game. It was the same.
He was grabbing the ball off the right hand side a lot of the game, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he was just as good. You know what I mean? So I just think I don't think Wirtz is a bad option either in the midfield, though. In the midfield three, it's just that obviously when you're trying to bed in a new player like that, and especially of such quality like that as well, and just throwing him into a midfield three that won the league last season, there's going to cause a bit of confusion. Obviously, there always will be. You just need time to. It was always going to take time to bed him in. The question obviously then comes in when Isak is available again, and then you do play Etihad off the left, and then Isak has a striker, and then what do you do with Wirtz? Because McAllister's slowly got back into form. I mean, Szoboszlai and Gravenberch arguably have been two of the best players in the league, and they haven't even been playing in their own positions half the time.
In a team that's been losing, lads.
Yeah, and then, but then that's a good problem to have, because then you can say maybe Maka goes on another poor run, and you can just throw Wirtz in there, and you know he'll be fine. Or Szoboszlai might just need a break, and you know that Wirtz can just, you know, Maka can cover that Szoboszlai job, and then you throw Wirtz in as well. But then you also know that if Isak's going to be sidelined for maybe this game as well against City, you can throw him in on the left mid side as well, and then you can even give Gakpo a run and let them two kind of rotate. So, as I said, the positive signs with Wirtz were always there. I feel like he was harshly judged because of his price tag, but I feel like the positives with Wirtz were always there, and I think Tuesday especially showed how much of a quality player he is, even when he doesn't get a goal or an assist. And I think that's where people were judging him harshly, because he would have quite similar performances to this, but then he wouldn't get a goal or an assist, and people would slam on him. I was like, nah, that's unfair. That he's been quality. He's been one of our best players. So I think looking forward to Sunday. I think, you know, if Wirtz gets in the team, he'll play brilliant. These are the kind of games that you're bringing a player like Florian Wirtz for.
The difference maker, isn't he? And you know, Andy, you've been very vocal on him. Well, we have all summer when we spoke about it. You know, you couldn't believe it. Do you know what I mean? When we were talking about the Wirtz stuff, even I was the same. You know, when we heard the little things. But I mean, it's these games where, like for instance, in that Real Madrid game, lads, I seen him kept moving into tight areas when they had a few bodies around him, asking for the ball, because he's so much quicker than most players. I understand it that the managers had to resort back to the midfield three, though. I think we have been a bit open, because when you are playing a 4-2-3-1 and the one in front of the two is a more attacking player, it can leave you a bit more exposed, can't it? But I think with the way our shape's been, the pivot's not been there, has it? It's not been a pivot, it's been more fucking attacking. Fair play to the manager, Hans.
Yeah, definitely. Listen, I think with Greg mentioned McAllister there.
Superb.
Yeah, Arne was saying, wasn't he, from the beginning of the season, that Macca's not quite there yet. And I think if he was, then maybe this midfield trio would have played a lot more games than what it has. And you know, he threw him in against Villa, threw him in against Real Madrid, and it looked like the Liverpool of last year, especially the first part of the season, where we just had control in midfield. We're actually looking like we're overrunning midfielders again, like we was last year, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, and Maka. But with Flo, Ben, remember when we signed him, I said to you, I can actually see him playing out on the left-hand side, because I saw it a lot with Leverkusen, where he drifts inside.
Not tied down to the left-hand side either.
He's not tied down. That's just it. He's not a left winger. You know, he's a roamer at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, you saw him against Madrid. You know, he created the one-on-one chance for Dom when he was out on the right-hand side, and you know, with the crossing.
His fucking body fucking icing in the corner, didn't he?
Yeah, this is what I mean. And you know, people keep, you know, like Greg said, people are judging this boy harshly. He's not. Florian Wirtz isn't just about assists and goals. This is a hard-working player, man. He presses well. You know, he's a decent tackler as well. You know, he gets stuck in and stuff. And you know, I think now he's just got that midfield trio back. It will allow him to just do his thing. And for me, I wouldn't change that team on Tuesday. Wirtz goes in all day long for me on the left. I think he's going to cause a lot of problems to that City defence. The way he just moves in and out of different positions. And he's only going to get better and better. And it's no coincidence that the performance on against Madrid was even better than the performance against Villa with Wirtz in the side.
This is it. Mark, you know, I just want to touch up on that because obviously we're going to a bit more on the City thing shortly, but you know, obviously I haven't had your thoughts a bit more on the game the night against Real Madrid. I want to talk up something we've just been talking about though, Mark, and that is the midfield in the, you know, WhatsApp and stuff like that. Now, you talked about PSG, the midfield.
Yeah.
And the way he's starting to play them now, they are being a bit more vocal with regards to having the ball. Do you know what I mean? The pivot's a bit back there, a lot more in shape. I think that's the problem that's been this season, Mark. The shape's been all over the place, hasn't it? They've reverted back to having a stronger shape. And we were discussing it before, you know, Maka, Grav, blah, 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 Szoboszlai. They're further back now because they were further forward the other week. And it's making a massive difference. And they're already making more chances. They create a lot more solid. Fullbacks are getting covered better. I think it's helped with Robbo being around these lads as well. A bit of, you know how they've been and done it a year before. And I just think with Liverpool playing like this, the sheer class comes out in them. And when Liverpool play, I still believe it. With Liverpool, they're on it. They play some of the best football in the league by far. You know, some of the other football's fucking atrocious in the league. And these teams at the minute, it can bring the best out of this Liverpool side, can't it? Bit more space for them to start knocking it around.
Yeah, well, I said to you, didn't I, at the start of the season, that you can't break up a title winning midfield straight away. I said, put Wirtz on the left. He's accustomed to that position, although it may be a little bit different. But he's still playing in a position that he kind of knows. But then you say to him, you go wherever you want, you make things happen, but you set positions left wing because you can't break that midfield three. As soon as he's gone back to that midfield three, played that shape, it's allowed, like, everyone looks settled, everyone looks like know where they're meant to be now. Virgil and Canate, all of a sudden their forms picked up, you know, with the help of Robinson because of his experience. It seems like everyone's, oh, I remember how we play like this now. We played like this last season. We fucking won the league. You know, this is it. But they don't underestimate how good, like Andy said, how good Wirtz's work rate was on Wednesday. He ran the most.
Highest.
He picked the pockets off that probably took the most balls off their team. You know what I mean? And we haven't seen that since Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz was a fucking menace, wasn't he? You know, getting the ball, taking it off them, you know, charging down, pressing and all that, which we haven't seen. And I think that's been a bit of a problem this season. I think, like, there's been no one. I think you press from the front, don't you, and everyone follows. Start to pressing like a team again instead of individuals. So, yeah, it's good to see him get back to something that we know. And I'm confident that our midfield is better than theirs because no De Bruyne, Rodri won't be 100% fit.
Not what it was, Mark.
I think they're a decent midfield, don't get me wrong. I think on the given day, they could turn up and just absolutely take the piss. But they're not going to take the piss on Sunday. I just don't think they're better than us. I think our defence is better than theirs. I think they're far more open than us, and it's shown. So I look forward to Sunday now, see what happens.
Yeah, Rick, I think Mark makes good points there. They are a good team. You know, when I'm looking at their midfield, this is why I think it's important where it is in the team, Rick. I don't want to go into the team lineup yet, but I mean, kind of gives it away what I'm saying anyway. But Wirtz acting as the fourth midfielder. Our midfield with him in there as a four should massively dominate that. What's his Nico? What is it? Nico Gonzalez? What's his fucking last name?
Yeah, Nico Gonzalez.
Yeah, Nico Gonzalez. Foden starts the other night and Randers. Our four should walk all over that, Rick.
Yeah, this ain't a City team of 2, 3, 4 years ago. It's not the same.
Bernardo's also a massive loss for them.
Yeah.
That little bastard caused us fucking so much shit across the pitch.
He always seems to have Salah's number, doesn't he? Yeah, that Bernardo seems to have Salah's number in terms of rattling him in a game in the last 2-3 games. But yeah, it's not the same City team. I think Pep's press conference today showed a little bit of a insecurity in terms of playing us this weekend. Their defense ain't as good as what it used to be. It's like Mark said, they're very open. If a team attacks them, there's a chance to be made there. So you keep Haaland quiet. I don't see where their goals are coming from. But you've got to keep him quiet because he's fucking on form in a minute. And the numbers he's putting up is scary. But yeah, if we go with the same team as Tuesday against Madrid, I think it could be a very, very good performance. But like I said to you boys in the group, I don't think he does. I think he changes it. We'll go into that a bit later. But yeah, I'm hoping that we can go there, and I'm hoping that we can put our foot down and set the tempo, set the standard, how that game's going to go, put them on the back foot early doors, and like people say, get through the first 20 minutes. Like the crowds and stuff like that, their crowd are shit anyway. They ain't got no fans anyway, so you ain't got to worry about that. So we just got to go there, pull it on them, and we get an early goal. It could be a naughty, I won't say a naughty scoreline, but if we score first, they're gonna have to come at us and open up a bit more. We could just pick them off.
Yeah, well, look, if you just join us now, smash a like and subscribe. Shout out to Rasta Crab. He's saying big up to the LFC crew. That's not even Rasta Crab. That's Tash. Rasta Crab, welcome, lads. Greg, with regards to this game, I always think when we go there, it's always been tight. Had a few tough nights there, but we seem to score goals. We seem to find a way with our players. Yes, they've scored, first a few times, but Liverpool get back into the game, as you've seen. Trent's getting goals and stuff like that. And last year, I think our style of play with Arnie, the way we've been playing in the last two, it's tailor-made to do well against this City side. We've become the team who's got a bit more like little ball players around there. Do you know what I mean? The McAllisters, now Florian. That used to be them. And I used to think, I'm sure you'd be the same, when they used to come to our gaff, we'd find it hard getting the ball off them. Do you know what I mean? Because I used to look at City, I think they were the best passers in the league by a country mile. You'd just be chasing shadows and all little fucking 2-foot fellas running around. Do you know what I mean? Couldn't never give the ball away. And I think they're going to get a bit of a taste for their own medicine. I think Liverpool will keep the ball much better. Do you think Liverpool will go there with the same kind of plan, sit in a bit more, or can you see Liverpool being a bit more front-footed and dominant?
I think City are the team to get at, to be honest. We've seen what Bournemouth did. I think it was last weekend at the Etihad, and Bournemouth obviously gave it to us when they came to Anfield as well. And again, Bournemouth did end up losing. Was it 3-1 or something? But they showed that Man City are a team that can be got at. If they just had a few more clinical strikers, then maybe they end up getting a point from that game, or the game turns on its head completely and Bournemouth walk away with all 3 points. So I think it'll be quite silly of Liverpool to set up in a more reserved way, not defensive, but like in a more reserved way that doesn't allow us to kind of be as free flowing and as attacking and just completely bombarding their goal. I think Sunday is a case of attack is the best form of defense, and as long as we've got the ball and just absolutely going, just absolutely terroring them for the entire game, I think that's what we should look to do instead of trying to maybe keep it contained, maybe not play the risky ball.
Off them, Greg, do you, and let them grow into the game?
Yeah, just if you have a chance to play like a risky ball, or like one of them cutting through the defense, kind of just play it. Because what we saw against Madrid was we'd get the ball out wide and then quickly get back into the middle, and then they had no idea what to do. They didn't know what shape to defend it in. The ball just got out wide and it was played into the middle quick, and we bombarded their centre, the centre of the pitch, with so much aggression. And that's what got us over the edge against Madrid. Obviously, our goal did come from a free kick, but if Courtois doesn't turn into Spider-Man, we end up winning that game 3-4-0. So I think it'll be the same against City as well. As I said, just need to make sure that we're not being lethargic on the ball. Because we've had games this season where it's understandable why we're playing quite slow and it's quite, patient football. And, you got to try and wait for them to break. You know what I mean? You got to wait for them to kind of slip up, wait for them to get aggy, wait for them to get on the edge and they do something silly to play the ball in behind. But City won't be a game like that. They'll be there for the taking 100%.
I agree with you, lads. I really do. I just want to go through some of the comments, Andy, first, if that's all right. Shout out to Gary. He's just saying,
that one on there of that team. That killed me off. That.
I'm going to go down, so let me go through them. So, yeah, Gary's saying here, would you drip feed Isak into the team to keep it fit and manage his fitness better? I think that's what's going to happen for any player. We obviously want to get him up to full speed, innit? December, January is probably where you'd probably see the best of him. International breaks don't fucking help Liverpool at all, do they? Don't know. Emma's saying, have you watched the Chiesa interview with Sky? I've just watched that. It's fucking brilliant. Mama Fash Villy. Bradley. It looks like I type like that, Gary. So I know the feeling of fucking fingers getting fucking lost on that phone. He loves Rio in the side, so you probably got the right man in Andy on the show. Fucking hell. But yeah, Rasta Crab said it's going to be a lot closer than it should. And he's also saying, Andy, this one's for you, Andy. Saying, do we really want to play Robbo 3 games in a row? But my input on this is he's got a long period of rest, 5 days from the Real Madrid game. Robbo should be all right, Andy, shouldn't he?
Yeah, definitely. You got to play Robbo. You know, I heard Rick say earlier on he thinks he's gonna change it. I don't think he should change it. Why should we, go into, drop back and let Haaland, in the box? Because Haaland, everything he touches in the box at the moment is going in the back of the net.
You do not want to give him a sniff on, do you?
Exactly. We've got to take the game to them. I've been saying this, all season. One thing that was annoying me about Arne was he wasn't doing what he was doing last year. He was ballsy last year with his tactics and stuff like that, which is what made us win games. And City are all, like Greg said there, City are there for the taking, mate. Bournemouth should have scored 3 or 4 against them last week. We've got, no disrespect, but we've got better players in them forward areas. And the fact that, we've got that 4-man midfield now, in my personal opinion now, that is the 4 going forward this season now. Them, the trio and Florian Wirtz, just let him do what he wants to do in that.
He can have that free role with them protected behind him, can't he? Yeah,
definitely. And so, Robbo needs to start because we need to keep the momentum going, Ben. I've been saying momentum is so key, man. And I'm so happy that he decided to play, the same team the last 2 games. And I think he will do it before an international break as well. And Isak coming in on the bench as well, which adds another bit of quality onto our bench. But yeah, I mean, Robbo has given, you said it earlier on, he's given that little bit of experience in that back 4, whereas Kirkes, when he came on against Madrid, mate, that just summed him up, didn't it, all season? He's completely wiped out. I don't know who he wiped out. But he wiped, he wiped himself out as well.
It was
Chouameni.
Yeah, that's it. Chouameni's injured now, isn't he? But he's just an excitable puppy. Kirkes. He's just, he wants to do well. He wants to please. But you guys will all remember when Robbo first come to this club. It took him a while to get into the team.
Shame on him.
Yeah, and it's got to be the same with Kirkes. You got to play that experience, and I think Van Dijk just looks so much more comfortable as well with Robbo next to him. It's almost like he's babysitting Kirkes, but with Robbo, they've got that understanding that they've had for 6-7 years, and you can't break that up, especially in a game like this. You can't break that up.
I know, but you know what? Just adding on from what you said there, Andy. The thing with Robbo was as well. Do you know when you're going through the shit? The pressure that became on Kirkes' shoulders, he was struggling with it. Robbo was the best thing to happen coming back into the side. Mark, a player in particular that I've been a bit fucking pissed off with in Conor Bradley this year. I don't think his form's been great, but I thought the other night he was fucking unbelievable. That's, for me, his best game at Liverpool. Better than the first Madrid last year. Definitely important for Liverpool going forward, because I do think what Greg said spot on, and what Andy said, get at them. Because you need them going backwards, lads. If you're going to sit in front of them and let them start knocking the ball around, you're just waiting for Haaland to get on the end of the fucking pass, aren't you? Liverpool don't want to be doing that. Because if that sort of shit happens, that'll start, the confidence will drop quick if Haaland gets a goal. You can just tell. Because his will rise, their 10 fans in the ground will rise, do you know what I mean? So you don't want to fucking give them anything. Certainly not him. But I think Conor Bradley, the way he's playing, is the confidence just came back. He wants to get on the ball. He wants to take players on. I didn't think that a month ago.
Yeah. The good thing about Conor Bradley is that, he always tries, doesn't he? And sometimes things don't happen. And, he gives the ball away or he'll do something stupid. But I tell you what, I think imagine if he could play Real Madrid every week with Mbappe and Vinicius, he'd be the best right back in the world.
Made up.
Yeah, so I think he'll be excited for this coming up. I think it might be Doku, possibly. Don't know, that's man.
Will be Doku, lad, yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine being Doku. Doku's still he's just very tricky as Vinicius Junior, isn't he?
Well, he is quick and shit as well, Mark. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't want to go too much into it because we're going to be pushing on the topic in a minute, but I think the best way to stop that service, get on top of Foden, get on top of Reinders. I tell you what, because if you can get on top of them, you're gonna make Haaland come in. You're gonna make him
away from the goal.
You're gonna make him drop into the midfield and get involved because he's gonna be starved a bit, and then that's their goal threat away. That's what you need to do.
And also as well, that's not the kind of role that Haaland's ever done.
Yeah,
he's never done it well when he's running round.
Yeah, that's what you basically need to do.
Yeah.
You need to bore him out the game. Because we've done it before. I don't want to thing. Has he even scored against Liverpool since he's been at Man City?
He scored one on the Etihad.
One, I think.
He scored at the Etihad, didn't he?
Was it in the 1-1?
Yeah.
The one
he scored in the cup. Yeah, but that was a team. Probably like fucking ass.
And he had one allowed at Anfield, didn't he?
No, he scored, didn't he? He scored in the one where Trent equalised at the Etihad, make it 1-0.
I thought that was De Bruyne.
No, it was Haaland.
No, Haaland's had a shot and it's taken a deflection and it's gone in.
Yeah, that's it.
Away in, and then,
but he's never had a sniff really against us, has he? So I think if you get on top of Reinders and Foden, push on.
Well, that's the supply chain, isn't it?
It's the supply you call because if you see, have you seen City's top goal scorers? It's Haaland. Their next top goal scorer is two own goals from a fucking other team. No, it's like seriously, if you take him out the game, you're taking the goals out the game, you know what I mean? He's got to keep the same team. Momentum is key.
Confidence. This team's a confidence team, Mark.
Yeah, it's momentum, it's confidence. The players know each other now, they're settled, they've got a clean sheet, build on it. Don't rip it up again and start to set with people.
Bang on.
Keep it as it is. I don't care if he's worried about managing minutes. Worry about that if we're 3-0 up and then you go, right, him off on the 70th minute when the game's done and dusted. So I think we could put these to bed quite by the 60th minute and then we can worry about resting players and bringing in like Isak on then, a bit of luxury. Give him 20 minutes to get us some fitness. So that's why I see keep the same team. If he changes it, and I think if you bring, he might bring Gakpo back in, but I hope he doesn't bring Kerkers back in. Just leave him, just bring him on for the last 10 like he did the other day. Yeah,
David's here saying I've watched City recently, particularly against Bournemouth. They played into their hands with eye line. Haaland just ran through to score. We mustn't leave that space behind. Rick, something we definitely have to watch out. That's how the fucking that Shard score for Brentford, were it? Running through our fucking back line away at Brentford. But I just don't think Liverpool will be so naive in the midfield this time round. I think the manager will be on them. We've got to smother them. Do you know what I mean? You can't let them dictate play there. And like Mark said, we can hit these for 6 early on. I think all you boys will probably agree with me as well. Liverpool, the team that can score 2 goals in fucking 4 minutes. Do you know what I mean? They're crazy when they get going. I've never seen a team like it before. When Liverpool just turn it on, they just fucking destroy teams, don't they? And I do think, Rick, these are still not out of the woods City from last year. I think they've still got a bit of uncertainty within that team. They've got new players like us, Rick. Be interested to see if that fucking beef jerky fucking plays for them. Do you know what I mean? Little fucking fat ass running around the pitch, and I think he'll just walk right into our midfield's hands. Do you know what I mean? We've got to get at them, Rick.
Yeah, this City team's in the transition like us. They obviously haven't recruited as well as what we've done in certain positions. I don't think that Nico Gonzalez is anything to shout about. Cherky hasn't really done much except for been injured. What's he been injured for the last 2 months? Who else they got? Marmouche has been out for a while. He looks.
Do you like Marmouche though,
Rick? Yeah, he's decent considering what they've got. A bit like Doku's a pace merchant. He ain't got no end product.
You better not fucking jinx it, lads.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Fucking hat-trick Sunday.
He returned Bradley inside out for 70 minutes. But, yeah, you've got... Their defence don't look stable either. Like he's tried to do the 4 centre-back thing, which ain't worked. He's now gone back to full-backs. I don't know if Alt-Nouri's fit enough to come back in.
I think he came on the other night, like, didn't he?
Yeah, so he might get some more minutes. But, yeah, they just don't... They don't scare me as they have in the last couple of seasons. And like I said, if Haaland don't score, he don't do much. So it's like they're playing with 10 men, but like I said, he's an animal in front of goal if you give him a sniff. We can be all over these early doors, get a couple goals, and then we can do what we did last season, invite them on. Yeah, sit and invite them on and then hit them on the break again. That's why I think he'll make some changes. I don't think he's going to go with the same team as choosing that. But whoever comes in does a job, which says a lot about our squad. They all come in and do a job.
They're all fit as well.
Yeah, I think who we got missing? Have we got anyone missing still?
Frimpong,
Allison.
Listen, don't get me started on Frimpong because it could be a long show if I talk about him. What's it? We've signed a TikToker. That's what we've signed in Frimpong. The geezer just does more Snapchats and TikToks. But going back to the team,
you never rule anyone out so early, lads.
He's not.
I just can't. I just can't with him in a minute.
As well.
I expect us to put a few past City this weekend. It's whether we can get our 3rd clean sheet in a row.
I'll put this one to you, Greg. Because I know we've had a chat, all of us on here anyway, about Semenyo. I think this could be a Luis Diaz situation on our hands, Greg. Maybe another team may force Liverpool's hands. And to be honest, lads, I don't care how many forwards Liverpool have got. Of course, we know we need a centre-half, and I'm not disputing that. But if him in our side, what a player he'd be, and John.
Right. You just said it there. Don't care how many forwards Liverpool have. Listen,
options, lads, options.
If we look, having options is the best problem to have.
Yeah,
it's the best problem to have because you'll have players who are just happy to be part of the squad and do the role that they have to do. Then you'll have players that are fighting for their position every week, and then they'll get into good competition with each other to get them minutes. Sorry.
Yeah.
Listen, like imagine it though. Like, do you know what I mean? Imagine it though, and then especially with him as well. Like, you can almost kind of say Salah replacements somewhat. Do you know what I mean?
I think he'll be the Salah.
I think the argument's there. You know, it depends what kind of system is played going forward, but you know, you can kind of throw that into the mixer as well. And as I said, I mean, he was quality against us anyway, weren't he? You know what I mean? So, like,
what side does he play on, the left or the right?
Both. He's both.
Scored more goals with his left foot, hasn't
he? He's playing the left or the right. He's both footed. He can play as a striker. He's the most versatile forward ever.
I think he's one of the most versatile forwards in the league. Andy, we've spoken about him privately. He's fucking brilliant. I think one thing's for sure is he certainly won't let you down fucking working hard, him.
He's an animal. He's an absolute animal.
Brilliant, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's big, he's strong, and one of the biggest things that you guys have just said, he's very versatile. He could actually play through the middle as well, by the way, when needs be. But you know, I agree with Greg. I think if it is going to happen, or you know, the rumours, I don't know about the rumours and stuff, but if it is going to happen, then I can see it being, you know, to phase Mo out when he leaves eventually. Because you're going to need. Listen, my number one target if Mo goes is Elise. You know, you've always known that with me, Ben. I think Elise he's elite. He's an elite right-sided forward. But Semenyo,
getting them out of there now, the ones, you know.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's rumours that he's also got a clause in his contract if a Premier League team comes in for him. So
certain amounts, isn't it?
Yeah, you just don't know. And I know. I told you a couple of years ago when Jurgen was there, because you obviously know my son's coach is Elise, and he did say to me he did speak to Liverpool. Yeah. So we could revisit that. But you know, Semenyo is he's built for us, isn't he? You know, he's He's
You
powerful,
need to take
strong.
that next step now, and
Yeah, there's one room for improvement in his game. I do believe he does. My personal opinion, he does snatch at a lot of chances as well. He does miss a lot of chances. He's not as as clinical as he should be, but he will become that. He's got the potential to. He's still very young as well. But imagine getting him and Gay in January, and we're still in touching distance of Arsenal, 5-6 points.
Will start switching if that happens.
Yeah, I mean they're the two types of signings. If you bring them in January and you're still close to Arsenal, then we could really push towards the end of the season. But that remains to be seen. We want to get our other top player into rhythm now in Isak. I'm fed up with listening to all this Isak fucking bullshit about he's too bob and he's average, and we've got one of the world's best nines in our team, and it's him now that we need to start bedding in, and he can make a really big difference for us regardless of if a Semenyo or a Gay come in.
He's going to be the main one that the team's going to be getting built around him and Florian, isn't it, Mark? Thing is, you think about it, if Salah wasn't at Liverpool, let's say next season, I do think the manager's talked about it. I've just watched a tactical video on the manager. He's talking about Isak being the ultimate number 9. He was the one to make the big difference. He then talked about Ekatike being on the left and stuff like this. Liverpool could be looking at a front line next year, Mark, of Ekatike, Isak and Semenyo. That wouldn't be half bad, would it?
Yeah, it wouldn't be too bad. That Semenyo is quick as well. I remember sitting, when I went to Bournemouth game, I was sitting in the upper nanny, and the amount of ground he covered in the space of 5 seconds with the ball as well, he was terrifying. He just didn't leave us alone all game. And, showed the mentality of him as well. He got abused by one of our fans, and he didn't even give a shit, did he? He just carried on. He could have easily just said that. No, I'm off. I've got to get out of this situation here. But
your internet's gone, Mark. Mark, your sound's gone. Yeah. Can't fix it. I'll come back to you, Mark. I'll come back to you while you fix it. I'll take you out off the screen a minute. I'll bring you back in. Rick, while Mark's sorting his stuff out, Mark, if you can hear me, I'll bring you back in. Rick, Liverpool have obviously got their eyes on a couple of players in January. One being a defender, Mark Gay, I think has got to be priority. Liverpool may be looking at it though, Rick, with regards to, I think a lot depends on where Liverpool are. If Liverpool are comfortable in the top 4 by Jan, and for instance, Arsenal are far ahead, I think they may wait. What's your take on it?
I do think we need a centre-back ASAP. Because like you said, we can't rely on Joe Gomez. You don't know when he's going to flake out of another injury. I'm not convinced we're going to sign Gay. I think there's going to be a few teams on the table for him for free who can speak to him in January anyway. So they're obviously going to have, I won't say they'll be ahead in the pecking order because they can speak to him in January, but it's going to be interesting because if he hasn't agreed to sign for anyone near the end of the season, then you probably got a chance still. But I do think Semenyo or Gay first. I'd probably look at the centre-back options first. And I see someone putting there, Isak needs to be fed and given the chances. Like, you ain't going to get that with Gakpo and Salah in the team. It's not how they play. They like to cut inside and shoot from different angles. And
this is why Wirtz is important.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now, by the way?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there. I don't even know. Not my phone didn't even go dodgy. It must have been the streamer.
Don't be blaming our stream, lads. Fucking you.
Shite, lads. Absolute shite.
Fucking yours, lads. Go on then. We'll start building the team then. I'm going to come to you, Greg. I'll come round to you in a minute. Mark, make sure everything's sound. You think any issues, Mark, put a thumbs up or thumbs down. Greg, what changes do you think could happen, or do you think he's going on the same team?
For me, I hope the exact same team, exact player for player, same team, exact same system. I just think it'll work against City. I think Man City are just a worse version of Real Madrid. I think the way they play, the way they set up, pretty much the exact same. They've got the exact same profile on the what's called on their left in what's his name, Doku in Vinicius Junior. They've got the exact same midfield profile in Bellingham and Reinders. They've got the exact same profile for player in every single position. It's basically the same team, but as I said, they play in the Premier League and Madrid play in Spain. I just think if you play the exact same way with the exact same system and just get at them, I think we'll get the job done. So for me, an unchanged team completely.
Sums it up for me, Andy. I wouldn't be making any changes. The only one really is, well, there's two positions where the question mark could be potentially over. It's the left back and the left winger. Now, I can understand people's thoughts. I'm not saying change it before the... See you shaking your head, fucking fuming at me. I'm not saying change it, but they'd be the two positions where the manager will be thinking of only.
Yeah, I'll absolutely lose my mind if he does, though, mate. You know, why would you change, you know, that, and you say that left-hand side, it's the first time, or, you know, that we looked like there was combinations going on with that left-hand side with Robbo and Florian. Listen, I'm with Greg and with you by the sounds of it. I just wouldn't change anyone, mate. It's got to be the same players, play the same way, forget all this, you know, worry about City, let them worry about us. I've been saying it all season, just let teams worry about us, mate. We've got phenomenal football players. You know, they should be worrying about us and what we're going to do.
Yeah.
You know, there's one player that you guys haven't mentioned. Well, you might have. I might have missed it. But one guy that is bang on form at the moment for City is Phil Foden. Yeah, Foden's been playing really well. And another point when, you know, Rick said earlier he thinks he might change it. You don't want Foden in and around outside the edge of the area either, mate, because the way he's unleashing shots at the moment and scoring goals from outside the box, he's had a few this year. We don't want that. We want them to think about us. So yeah, he's another player that we need to think about on Sunday before Arne wants to make any changes.
And
no changes, mate.
Just before I go to Mark, you watch press conferences. I know you do. Have they mentioned anything on Rodri? Does anyone know, by the way, on the panel?
He's going to play. Or he's fit to play. He's fit to play.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, he's fit to play. He said that he was fit to play during the week, but he wanted to give him an extra few days rest. But I don't know if he'll start Rodri. But
it'd be a dangerous thing to start it with our midfield being so energetic, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. But listen, Rodri's not the same player either at the moment, mate. You know, he's not the same player before his ACL. You know, Rodri used to dominate games. You know, unfortunately, especially his age as well. How old is Rodri now? Is he touching 30 yet? You know,
he's about 30 now, yeah. Maybe
yeah, you know, it's much more difficult coming back, especially in that position
29
from an ACL. Yeah, you know, from an ACL. There's no doubt, you know, he's a top player, Rodri. He's been one of the best midfielders even before his injury. But, you know, he could start. He might have rested him during the week, so he starts against us on Sunday.
It is. Mark, you know, with regards to our team, for me, he has to leave it alone. I'll be honest, he has to. You're going for O'Kirkers in there, you could be asking for trouble with their front man. Do you know what I mean? That's Savinho. You mentioned it before. He's been looking good, Mark. You know, City fans in the house, sorry. He said, nah, Rodri is not starting. Cheers for the comments anyway, lads. Mark, just before we do our team, I want to read this comment out with regards to their team, because it may depend on if we potentially make changes. So he's saying 4-3-3. He's missed off the keeper. But he said O'Reilly, Gvardiol, Diaz, Nunes, Silva, Nico, Foden, Doku, Haaland, Cherky.
Yeah.
It's a good team, that, Mark. But I do think our midfield will get at this.
Yeah, the way I look at that team there, it looks narrow. Doku obviously give you the width, but when you look at Ryan Cherky, he's not going to be sitting on that wing touchline. He's going to be in it. I think that's actually, and I hope he plays that midfield. No, disrespect, it's a good midfield, but if you're given the keys to that Nico to sit there and let the likes of Bernardo Silva and Foden and Ryan Cherky and Doku, try and create things, he's going to be left alone. And that's where I think, but at the same time, I hope he plays Rodri, because I don't think he'll be right. If you play him, you get in him, fucking clip his ankles, just let him know you're there.
Yeah. This is it. Mark, is your sound gone again?
No.
All right, sound. Rick.
I can hear you, can't I?
Yeah. No, you could hear me before. Sorry, someone knocked my phone. Rick, can you see any changes yourself? I think he's got no choice but to keep Florian in this. For me, he's the key going into this City game, Florian Wirtz.
He won't play Flo. He'll bring Gakpo in.
Do you think a change?
Yeah, he'll bring Gakpo in. He won't drop Gakpo 2 games running. Not a chance. Gakpo's his guy, innit? He's the first name on Liverpool's team sheet for slot, Gakpo. That's his player. Like, everyone's saying, like, Chiesa could have been Slot's go-to player, It's not, it's Gakpo. So he'll come back in. He'll see it's against Nunes at right back. So he ain't going to need massive amounts of pace to go against their full-back. So he'll come with Gakpo, and it will be the same shit that we watch for the last couple of weeks with Gakpo. Cut inside, won't look for the overlap to put the left back.
He scored against City last year, didn't he?
Yeah, but I just think the way we're trying to play is different to how it was last season. I like Gakpo, but I just think he's not.
Fucking not by the sound of it.
No. Listen,
just quickly,
carry on.
Cody came on against Madrid and played through the middle, didn't he?
Yeah.
Maybe Arne thinks he's become a bit too predictable then.
I think he done the Gakpo down the middle because Ekatike come off, and we didn't have Isaac on the bench this week.
But then he could have put Flo in the middle, which is what he's been doing a couple of times.
He's been looking like a little false nine at times, hasn't he?
Can I say what he might do this Sunday? I think there's one change that's possible where he might get Wirtz and Cody Gakpo in. Is no Ekatike, and I'll tell you why. He might go and play the same style that he did last season when he went there with the four midfielders, and then I think it was Diaz that day. We sound gone again.
Yeah.
No.
Oh no, sorry. I thought because Andy was like that.
No, 4-2-2. I was going 4-2-2-2.
Yeah,
he
the
played
4-2-2-2. Last year. And then he's got the 3 midfielders. He's got Wirtz floating around, and then he may just like.
But who scores the goals, Mark?
Salah, obviously.
Yeah, but that formation last season.
In our team, mate. You've got Szoboszlai. I think Szoboszlai was key last season with his late runs. I think
that was only because he had Jones next to him, though. That's because he had Jones next to him last season.
All right, then we'll change it. Bring Jones in then instead of Wirtz. Then there's options to do. I think the biggest one was Luis Diaz, because I think his blessing last season was really good. But I think if there's one change that's going to be, because I think he looks tired at the moment. Ekatike, he's not getting through a full 60. He's not getting through a full 90. Coming off at 60 minutes, fucking goosed. So it may be the case that he might go. I want to go with Cozy because he's had a good week's rest. Ekatike looks a little bit on his ass, but I want to keep Wirtz in that team. So he may go with that for 45 minutes. If it's not doing it, change it then, and then you can bring on Ekatike and Isak, and they're fresh. They're a little bit jaded, a bit worn down. Then that's how you win the game. Then you don't have to win the game in the first half if it's not going to happen that way. You've got that quality off the bench to come on then and go, right, here we go. We're going to switch it up now. Fucking get at them, because we tried something. It's not worked like last season, so we'll try this now. We've got options, haven't we?
You do have options.
Mark could be right, because it's quite interesting. The reason why I brought up Gakpo coming through the middle, I thought he looked all right when he came on against Madrid in the middle. He looked a bit more unpredictable playing in that role than what he's looked on the left, and that's why I was saying maybe Arne's decided that he's too predictable, which means teams get back into shape, know exactly what we're going to do.
He likes to cut in, as you know. When you're playing through the middle, you can only really go forwards, can't you?
I think he held the ball up well as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
He held it up really well.
Well, you never know. He could play Cody in the Ekatike role on Sunday and keep Wirtz there, because you're talking about the pressing. If you want a presser, Wirtz is the man for you there to press their defence and go at them. Cody ain't going to do that on the left.
No.
So
We've got options, Greg. Before I get your score prediction, do you think that there is an issue with the fitness of Etihad? Because I know a few people are saying it. Not just these here.
The fitness with Etihad.
Looking tired in this from 60, isn't he? That's like his routine to come off around there. Especially with Isak's supposed to be on the bench. Could you see him potentially on the bench, Etihad? I can't. I think you've got to go after him.
As we said before, it's been 5 days since the Madrid game. When Sunday comes around, and it's plenty of time. You know, when you play for a team like Liverpool, you're used to playing constant games anyway. A game comes every 3 days on average, pretty much, and the players are used to it. The players know what they're in for. And Etihad was playing for Frankfurt as well last season in the Europa League, so it's not like he's unfamiliar to having tight schedules or nothing. So I don't see him getting dropped for it. And fitness-wise, obviously, look, if he comes off, but for like man there and Isak, so it doesn't really matter anyway.
These are going to be dying to get on that pitch against Man City, Greg, aren't they?
Exactly.
Score prediction. You need to start us off good, Greg, lad. Come on.
I want to say a repeat of last season, 2-0 Liverpool.
2-0 Liverpool. Give me your first goal scorer.
I think Mo Salah gets on the score sheet, and I think Mo Salah gets on the score sheet, and I think that Wirtz gets his first goal for Liverpool.
Hey.
Fucking took the words out of my mouth there.
Hey!
That was a good one. Mark G in the comments has said 3-1 win. Andy, where are your thoughts? You can be cautious. You know that.
And I have
wins and all that.
That's going to be my score line is going to be 1-1 on Sunday. I'm going.
Just a question. Like you're saying 1-1. Does it do us any favours though?
You know what, Ben? I don't think after what's happened with the games that we've lost, I don't think we're looking at title talk at the moment. I think it's just about getting performances going again. Yeah, not ticking, but just getting performances going again. You know, to get us back up to that standard. And I've just got this feeling these boys have got their eye on the Champions League as well this year. So, you know, I'm not saying throw the towel in on the league. Getting a 1-1 draw at the Etihad is not a bad result, and it ain't a bad way to end. You know, these 3 games that we had after the losses. You know, Villa, Madrid, City. To end it on a draw is not bad at all. To going into the international break, I just think that it's going to be. I know what everyone's saying about City, but you know they can hurt teams, man. And you know, are we out of the woods yet defensively and stuff like that? That's what I'm looking at.
Do we?
Yeah, I just think I think we're going to put in a good performance, but I also believe they will as well, and I think it's going to be a really good game.
Yeah, good game, that.
So I'm going for a 1-1. I hope I'm wrong, by the way. I hope we win.
Do you know what? Gary could be right, but the problem is if that's the case, he'll be playing in the wrong fucking game, lads, because it's at the Etihad.
The comment.
Just thought to get you there, Gary, because you always put the Isak talk on me, lads, so I'm coming for you. As Em said, Gary, do you not know where the match is? No. Mark, scoreline, and give me a goal scorer.
I'm going 2-2, and I'll tell you the reason why. If Arsenal win Saturday, puts pressure on both teams. Both teams know they can't afford to lose. So I think it'll be one of them games where it'll be dead exciting, dead attacking. I think there'll be goals both sides. I can see 2-2. I can see Szoboszlai, Wirtz scoring, Salah getting 2 assists. I can also see a man getting sent off as well. I think there'll be a little bit of needle in this game because I think it's gonna mean more to both of these teams more than we think, because I think if Arsenal go into double digits above us, double digits above City and Liverpool, say 10 points, whatever it is now, the pressure's on for both Liverpool and City to win. So I think that it'll make it an exciting game. I hope we win, obviously. But like Andy said, we don't know where we are yet. We don't know how we're going, after 2 good games, whether we're going to sustain this kind of run and momentum and keep defensive shape and everything. So at the moment, we don't know, do we? So, but I do think it'll be a cracking game.
Become the same. I think it's going to be a cracking game, but I think we're going to win. I think it's going to be a 2-1 Liverpool win, and I think, do you know who gets the winner? Alexander Isak in front of the Liverpool fans.
Yeah.
Giving it the old one of them and one of them to them fuckers. Do you know what I mean? Rick,
That's
where are
a
you at
fucking
with it?
team come through, that, isn't it?
Ah, mate, that's the one.
Oh.
The fucking roof will come off in the away end.
Get me
We've got to get
Williams.
you in that ground, lads. But leave it with me. That'll make you better, lads. Never mind, Dill. Fucking Rick, where are we at, lads? I know you come with wild predictions, lads. Here we go. Enzo
6-1.
first goal scorer, 6-0 win or something.
I said 6-1 then under me there.
No, I'm gonna go 3-0.
Oof.
Go on, lads.
Yeah, we'll go 3-0.
You've got to end on a mad one.
To us. I always say
Yeah,
us
to
there,
us.
like.
Yeah, to us. We'll keep Haaland quiet.
In which ground, lads? Anfield or fucking...
Yeah, at Anfield when we play them.
Challenge Stadium.
We'll keep Haaland quiet, and first goal scorer will be Gakpo.
You think he started it, Rico?
Yeah, he should have
He's
started.
sticking to his guns. You know, we've got Gary's 2-0 at Anfield. We've got a few 3-1 wins. Greg's going with the 2-0. Andy's going 1-1. Mark's going 2-2. Rick's going 10-1 or something, or fucking daft like that. Gakpo, first goal scorer. Rick, you're sending them under here, lads. But we'll wrap up. We'll have to try and get you a ticket. Anyone in the chat who's watching, any spares, let us know. Get in touch with Greg if you've got a spare. We're open. There's potentially a few popping up, but you never know. Greg, you've got to get better, lad. The match is not far away, lad. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Greg's on mute.
Oh, lad, sorry, it's because I keep on sniffing, lad, so I don't want to.
Like that.
Yeah, lad, Liverpool's my medicine, lad. So the moment I get the message saying I've got you on there, lad, hey, I'm instantly better.
Yeah, definitely.
So you've heard him now. You've got to get him a spare. Andy, as always, Mark, Rick, we'll be back after the game, I think. Come on, Reds, don't let us down here. I think if Liverpool win, you know, puts major pressure on Arsenal because they're not feeling the heat at the minute. We determine if they win or not, in my opinion, because fucking we piss around with it, they'll just go and stroll it. Because I don't think City are long-term big run winners at this minute. Still think they've got a few defeats in them. They lost last week, didn't they? So they've still got a fucking few up and down periods. But Reds, look, we've got to get fucking 3 points here. I think it's a must-win. I don't think a draw does us any favours, Andy. I get your points, of course I do, but I think Liverpool really want to go and put something on the league. They've got to go and win. And unlike you know, the difference between us and Arsenal, they'd happily go there for a draw. We're going there to win. So, Reds, we'll be back after the game. Hopefully Liverpool win. Some up the fucking Reds.